Hey guys, so I've been out traveling for a while, and for about a month I've been in this Toyota Tacoma 4x4 TRD, not a Pro, but just a regular TRD 4x4 off-road. And it's not a bad vehicle. It's not a bad vehicle at all. The first thing though, when I first picked it up from the rental company, and amazingly enough, Avis had like a million of these. I don't know whether they're growing out of the trees or because of the supply chain issues, that just ended up being a whole lot of Tacomas for one reason or the other. But almost everybody in my group, which is about 6 people, all got Toyota Tacomas. That was their standard vehicle. So ended up in this Toyota Tacoma, picked it up, driving on the highway. The first thing I noticed is how underpowered it is. Granted, I drive a V8 back home, so maybe my reference point is a little bit skewed, but picking it up and driving it, that's the first thing that got to me, like, wow, this is underpowered. In my head, I thought, hey, this must come in more than one engine, which it does. There's the 4-cylinder and the 6-cylinder, the V6. The 4-cylinder has about 159 horsepower, I believe, and about 180 foot-pounds or pound-feet of torque. And the V6 has 278 horsepower and about 150 some, or no, just, well, I'll put the actual numbers in the description here. I'm trying to remember it in my head, but I don't remember it. So I'll put the numbers in the description. But the bottom line is there's about 100 more horsepower in the V6 than there is in the 4-cylinder, and about almost 100 more pound-feet of torque as well. And that's insane, right? That this feels so underpowered if there's even one that's less powered than this. The way I think about it, when I'm buying a vehicle, I'm going to want to put, the aftermarket wheels and tires and, maybe go camping, off-roading, carry some gear. And I'm thinking, if I had a 4-cylinder, I just don't think that would work out very well. So I'm hoping people out there that I see with these trucks that are completely built out with racks on top and a tent and whatever else not, that they're using the V6s, because I do not see a 4-cylinder being able to do that as well. Of course, you can do just about anything with anything. I get that. But if you're driving a 4-cylinder and you really honestly have it built out and it's working, would love to hear from you in the comment section here. But I've never owned one of these. I've got a Toyota. It's a Lexus GX 460 that I drive right now, and that seems to have good enough power. But even as a V8, it's not an incredible amount of power, right? You don't really feel like it's a V8, but it's definitely a little bit more powerful than the Toyota 4Runner, which is its kind of equivalent from the Toyota side. Anyways, the point of this video is to just kind of take you guys around, show you the interior a little bit. I didn't off-road with it or do anything like that. This is more like a intro into Toyota Tacoma. So we'll go around, we'll look at the interior a little bit. I'll sit in the back, show you what it feels like. I stand at about 6 foot, or a little bit over 6'1", and so I'm comfortable in the front, but we'll go in the back and see how much room we have back there. I like the entertainment system. It's good enough. It's a little dull, all black and whitish, not a lot of colors in it. I do wish that it was a little bit more dynamic, but the screen is big enough. It's touch screen. It's a little delayed when you're using it. I'll flip you guys around here and kind of turn it on so you can see. All right, so it doesn't take too long to turn on. It turns on just fine. It's got the manual buttons, which I like as well, instead of just having the physical buttons. But as you can see, it's a little delayed, right? It doesn't switch over very fast. And that's the same even when you're using a touchscreen, which is nice that it does have the touchscreen in it. I do have a G-Wagon and that doesn't. All right. Like I was saying, it does have a touchscreen, and the touchscreen is just as delayed when you're using it, just as the buttons are. So you see that you push it, it takes a little second to think about it, and then it switches over. All right, so not a big delay, but definitely something where you seem like you're waiting for it, right? Touchscreen operates in kind of the same fashion. All right, but not overly too bad. And then when you look up here, you've got your crawl modes. If you're off-roading, you got your rear locker, since it's the TRD off-road package. And the finish is fine. It's not horrible. It's very basic. Nothing incredible about it. Gear shifter, it's a little dirty in here. I've been using it for about a month, and it's always interesting to me why rental cars don't have any floor mats in them, but if somebody knows why, just put that in the comment section below. But it's got 36,000 miles. All right, and nice enough steering wheel. All right, some more controls over here, and then that's your door panel. Cup holders down here, another cup holder here, 2 more cup holders right here, and then this is a wireless charger for your cell phone, and it's actually nice and open, so you can put a big phone in here. I've been in a lot of vehicles where it's just like, did you guys even think about this? Did you think about sizes of phones? This is in a perfect location. Number one, it's out of the sun, and it just kind of sits in there and charges, so that's really nice. More cup holders here. Basic sound system, it wasn't bad, you know. What else do we have here? I think that's about it. We'll look backwards here. You've got that window in the back with a slider, and got some of my gear in the back, of course. And we'll go outside, and I'm gonna pop the hood while we're still in here so we can take a look at that as well. And let's go ahead and turn the engine off. But this is what it looks like on the outside. Hopefully it's not too loud out here. I'm kind of right by the highway. This has got to be stock, right? It comes with all terrains, and what are we looking at? 265 70 16, and it's a Goodyear tire on there. I didn't carry anything in the bed, so I have no comments on that, but I do like the fact that they include these in here so you can tie down gear in that without having to buy something extra aftermarket. Also looks like it's got that drop-in bed liner in it, so that's cool. Gate comes down soft. Always a nice addition, and looks like we've got a power outlet here, 110. Little compartment in here where you can hide some stuff, I guess, or put some recovery equipment. Not too big though. That's about that. Let's look at the door sticker here before I forget. So this is what this looks like. So you can see your tire sizes there. You can pause the video, and then your gross vehicle weight rating, 2,540 kgs, which is 5,600 pounds. All right, and that's that. Looking in the back, see how much room we have in here. So this is with me sitting in front at 6 foot. So obviously not a lot of room. I'd have to move this up a little bit, but if I was to move it up and I'm not as comfortable at 6 foot in the front, there'd be a little bit more room in the back, but definitely a little bit less room in here than I would like. Try to pull it out. Hopefully that's a better view for you guys. So my knees are right in that. So, but we can move this forward a little bit and create more room. All right. Headroom wise, that's fine. I mean, that's not bad at all. I don't feel like I'm crunched down or anything. If I had longer hair, it would definitely be rubbing up here, but otherwise I think a good fair amount of room back here. You don't feel too claustrophobic. All right, and that's the passenger side. Nothing remarkable about the vehicle. Some cup holders over here, big enough to put a bottle in there, and your window up and down, of course. Do we have heat in the back? There's a vent down here, so I bet you've got heat coming out of that. Some cup holders here, and then the middle seat, and of course a window with a manual, with a slide, automatic slide, I believe it is, in the back. So that's always cool. I think all Toyotas have that. I'm used to the Toyota Tacoma. I've had a Toyota Tacoma in the past, and I also have it's a Toyota, but it's a Lexus GX460. So kind of have some experience with them. The interior more looks like like if you've ever been overseas, they've got those Toyota Pradas this looks slightly more on the Prada side, like the quality and refinement of materials. So not quite at the level of a Lexus, but definitely not bad at all. I got a bag here in the front. I can move that, give you a better look here, unobstructed, what it kind of looks like from the back seat. All right, your four-wheel drive system here, and you've got your rear locker up there, and your terrain modes right there when you're off-roading. So that's kind of cool. Dome light. And we're gonna move on to the engine compartment here so we can take a look at the beast that's hiding underneath here. All right, that doesn't hold itself up. This day and age, I kind of expect vehicles to have gas shocks by now to kind of keep this stuff up, but this does not have one. It's got the quintessential little rod right here that holds it in place, and this is the engine. And I don't know why it looks like this. It's not that it's been off-road. It hasn't been off-road at all, but it just looks like it's been off-road. Really dirty in here. I promise I wasn't off-roading in this, but that's the engine. All right. As far as sound in the cabin, it's not too bad. You hear the little note of the engine in the background, but overall pretty silent in here, silent enough for the level of vehicle that it is. I've been in louder, more expensive vehicles, so definitely can't complain about the cabin noise. I wish I had my little sound meter so I could actually measure it and tell you exactly what it is, but honestly, you can talk to me right now. I'm going about 35 miles an hour, and so I feel like I could have a conversation just fine with somebody in the vehicle and be heard. So I think that's perfectly fine. How does it handle on the road? I think it handles good. It drives really well. Just that lack of power that we've already talked about, but overall it drives good. It handles good. The steering wheel is exactly what you would want a steering wheel to be. It's not too heavy in the parking lot. I also drive a G-Wagon, and that steering wheel is pretty heavy. And so this here does feel good when you're in the parking lot trying to maneuver it, and even when you're driving down the highway, it doesn't feel too loose. Just a good steering wheel. So no complaints whatsoever in that realm right there. Good visibility outside all the windows. I don't have a problem looking out of them, and I do not have a problem parking it whatsoever. Small spaces, big spaces, it doesn't seem to really matter that much to this vehicle. So I love it in all those categories. All right, we're gonna put it into reverse here and slide into this parking space. But we're gonna go forward here. But as you can see, if I wasn't trying to film here, I'd have been able to swing into that parking space just fine. I've actually done that before, and it works really well. So as you can see, I'm completely aligned outside, right? And that's a stop. My steering wheel is straight. The camera aligns pretty good. That's pulling in using just the digital interface, and it seems like it's right square between the lines. So that's good. You can see that's the camera there. It's offset to the left a little bit, but it doesn't seem to affect the way you back up. They probably adjusted for that. But that's about it. Not a bad vehicle, guys. If you're gonna buy a Toyota Tacoma, you want a simple vehicle, they allegedly last forever, this is it. And maybe part of the reason why they last forever is because they're exactly the way they are. Nice, simple, and straight to the point. Nothing extraordinary about them. Nothing to hate. I don't think I hate anything about the interior. It's just very, very basic. The speed, the power, I should say, if I'm going to build it up and I'm going to do a bunch of stuff, I think it would start to struggle. But as it stands right now, if you were just driving it, honestly, I think the mileage has been fine. I've filled it up once in the month. I don't know how many miles I drove, but that's not saying a lot. I filled it up once because maybe I wasn't driving very much, over the month, which I wasn't. But overall, driving it in the city, it parks really well. It goes in and out of traffic fair enough. There's nothing too crazy about it. It's just a very nice basic vehicle. The things I would change is a little bit more power in the engine. Definitely not get the 4-cylinder if I'm going to buy one, and maybe get a little bit of color to this display. It just seems very, very, very basic. Navigation app is not installed. Okay, but it's just, yeah. a little bit plain for a 2021 vehicle, which is what I think this is according to the door sticker anyway. It's either 2021 or 2022. It says manufacturer date was 2021, so we'll go with that. But overall, that's the vehicle, and I do not hate it. Would I buy it? I don't necessarily think so. If I just needed a little pickup to tool around in or something to experiment with, because I buy vehicles for all sorts of reasons, I may buy it for that. But for something to really own and love, I don't know. I've seen a lot of really nicely built Tacomas and 4Runners that I'm like, you know what? I want to have one of these one day. So I do not hate the vehicle. I don't hate any vehicle, but right now for my purposes and what I need, I just don't know that this is the vehicle that I would buy. But not dissing the vehicles at all. I think it's a fair enough vehicle, and it's a good enough vehicle, and it's been solid the month that I've used it. So I love that about it, and everybody knows Toyotas last forever. That's the messaging out there, and it kind of shows, right? That's about everything that I had for you guys. Hopefully this helps somebody who's looking at Tacomas. What's the equivalent to this? I know Chevy makes some vehicles. There's the Bison out there. There's the Ford Ranger, but I don't know that I like the looks of those. I think just body wise, I like the body and styling off the Tacoma. Power wise, I don't know if those are more powerful. I've never driven any one of those, so I'm not going to talk about those. The interiors, also don't know a lot about them to make any comments whatsoever, but there is different trucks in this same category right here that you may consider or may want to look at if you're shopping, to make sure that you're getting what you need, because one man's meat is another man's poison. All right, but that's about everything that I have. I'm going to cut this short. I just intended for it to be one take, kind of give a little bit of preliminary information out there about the Toyota Tacoma. Hopefully this was helpful to somebody. Until then, peace.